And welcome to Advantage Radio Ministries, and welcome to Second Chances here at Lift FM. My name is Greg Hennis. This is our weekly program, in which if you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, then you do understand that God loves each and every one of us so much that He paid the ultimate sacrifice. He sent His only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross, that we could have life and have it more abundantly. And because He loves us, He's given us that second chance, third chance, fourth chance. He's to accept His Son as our Savior. And we have a wonderful opportunity to do that each and every week on this program. We bring people on from all walks of life who all have one thing in common. They live for the Lord, and they have done things that the Lord has asked them to do. The Lord has used their gifts. And we have such one person with us today. His name is Angel Ed. And so, Angel Ed, thank you, first of all, for joining us here on Second Chances at Lift FM.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So, the million-dollar question is, how does one end up with the name Angel Ed?
Angel Ed, that's a good question. What I do, I just try to do everything I can for God. You know, I just look at this life as it's not about me. This life is about everyone around me. And, you know, I work for a stem cell doctor. I've had a lot of people. I've changed their lives, their family lives, and they always call me their guardian angel. And what I do with nursing homes, you know, and getting visitors for the lonely. You know, so many people, so many families, you know, just you're such an angel, you know, and it just stuck. And I love that name. I think it's a beautiful name.
So let's learn a little bit about who you are before we talk about the work that you do to help others and the nursing homes and so on and so forth. First of all, tell us a little bit about where you're from. Were you born into a Christian home, things of that nature?
Right. I was born in Minnesota, actually. I live in Alpha, New Jersey now. It's not really a Christian home. I wouldn't call it a Christian home at all. I went to Sunday school when I was younger, you know, all through the grades, but never really had Jesus in my life back then when I was younger.
What was it in your life that caused you to put Jesus into your life?
I've just been through a lot of turmoil in my life. I had MS at a very young age, and also there was a lot of alcohol, drug abuse, things like that. And then when I finally gave my life over to the Lord, everything just started to fall into place.
Do you remember the day, Angel Ed, that you made that decision to ask Jesus to be Lord of your life?
Yeah, it was actually possibly a couple of times. The one story I'll tell you a little bit later, the one story, but actually they're both. The one, when I really gave my life to Jesus Christ, it was in August of 2005 when I went to Lourdes, France. I gave my life to God that day, and I started doing everything that I'm doing now. That's when I first started doing it.
Can you tell us the story? We'd love to hear it.
Oh, absolutely. I have multiple sclerosis. And in 2004, my chiropractor, he had a lady there that they run trips to Lourdes, France. And at Lourdes, France, there's healing water there. The Blessed Mother was seen there in 1856, I think it was. And there was a small peasant girl, Bernadette. She's seen the Blessed Mother, and she'd go there every week. She would tell her to be there every week. And on the last time, she had her dig in this one spot, and healing water came up. And thousands of people go there every year to be healed of their illnesses. And I wanted to go in 2004, and it was booked. The flight was booked, and I was very upset about that. You know, it was all about me then. It's like, you know, I want to get rid of my MS. You know, why are you doing this, Lord? I don't understand. And then in 2005, I did go. I went with 44 other people. I didn't know any of them. It was a pilgrimage. When we got there, I met a lady there with Alzheimer's. You know, she could not speak. Her name was Donna, but she could understand me, and I could kind of understand her just by looking at her. And when we came back from the trip, she was in a nursing home about 20 minutes from my house. So I started to go up there and visit her 2-3 times a week. And she was on the Alzheimer's floor. There's 55 women there. And every time I come out from visiting her, there was never a visitor up there, ever. For all these people, all these women that were up there, they all had Alzheimer's and never a visitor. So I would start visiting all of them. I would visit all 55 of them at once. And I'd be there up to 5 days a week, and I'd be there 2 to 3 hours every time I was there, because I would speak with each and every one of them. just to let them know that they're loved and they're not forgotten. And then that was in August of 2005. I started doing that. Of October in 2005, my friend Donna died. And I went up to the head nurse there, and I said, do you mind if I keep coming back? I really have a bond with these people. I just love these people. And I get very emotional with this. And she said to me, she said, Ed, they don't remember anybody. They don't even remember the nurses, but they all remember you. And it just floored me. And it's like a gift that God has given me. And everywhere I go, the Alzheimer's people seem to remember me. They might not remember my name, but I went on a trip one time, and one lady goes, I don't remember your name, but I know you went on a trip. How was your trip? They just remember things about me, and it's just amazing. But I just hate to see the loneliness. And Alzheimer's floors, up to 85% never get a visitor. So if there's 100 people there, only 15 get a visitor. That's a crime. In my book, that's a crime. That shouldn't happen in any country, but especially in this country. This should not be happening.
So you make the decision to give your life to the Lord. Do you obviously have a place the Lord's put it on your heart to have a love for people in nursing homes that don't traditionally get visitors? And you form an organization, correct?
Yeah, actually, I did not. I was doing this by myself for 7.5 years. It's 8.5 years now. And the Turn a Frown Around Foundation, they came to me. They write about me. There's a couple of write-ups about me, what I do. And they came to me and asked me for my help. They go to nursing homes also. And what they do, though, they go to the nursing homes. This is what we do. We go to nursing homes, and we find out what residents don't get any visitors. And we get them, we call it a forever friend, someone that shows up at least once a week for 20 minutes and spends time with just that one person, let them know how special they are, that they are still loved, that their life still has meaning. And they came to me, the founder, Drew Horn, he came to me, February of 2013, and asked me for my help. And as soon as I heard what they do, I said, I'm all over this. This is what I'm here for. And so I told him, I said, the first thing we're going to start doing, I'm going to go and speak at churches. Because if you're at church for the right reason, you have the compassion in your heart. That's just the way I feel. And I go to churches just about every Sunday and speak at the different churches, and I get forever friends from each church. And it's working very, very well. And before I started, they were around for 11.5 years. They had under 40 forever friends in 11.5 years. He just really couldn't get it going. And with a little over 3 months, I had 120 forever friends.
How do people find out about Turn a Frown Around, Forever Friend? How does one find out some information about that? Of course, we'll ask you later on as well, but if you're just joining us, how does one find out?
Absolutely. What you do, you go to the website, which is www.turnafrownaround.org. That's www.turnafrownaround.org, O-R-G. And also my phone number is 908-454-8818. That's 908-454-8818.
Now, one of the things that I know we wanted to talk about is the fact that obviously it's a great organization. Obviously, a forever friend is a big thing. But obviously it takes people to know about the organization to make that happen. And consequently, I imagine one of the places that you find potential forever friends is in churches. And I know you're always looking for churches. So how does one go about putting the right people in touch to get them to get their church involved?
Right. What we are doing now, we're actually getting churches to adopt a nursing home, which is going very well. And the great thing that I love about this, there'll be like 3-4 people after church. They'll go to the nursing home. They'll all get their forever friend, and they'll all meet like in a TV room or something like that, like everyone together. That way it's a lot easier to talk. You know what I mean? You have more people talking at one time.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful thing about this is when the people leave, and they go home, now the residents that were all together are friends. And now they have someone to talk to for the rest of the week. And it's working very, very well that way. And the church will do the same thing. They'll go to our website or just give me a call. And what I will do, I'll find out what nursing home is close to them. They'll give me a couple nursing homes close to them. Or they can just tell me what city and state it is. and then I will Google that. I will get the phone numbers for all the nursing homes in that area, and I'll call those nursing homes and get them involved with us.
How many hours a week, Angel Ed, do you visit homes and do other things for Turn a Frown Around?
A lot of hours. It's not all at one time because I do have MS. I get very tired at times, but anywhere from 40 hours plus, during a week. I do this 7 days a week. I'll call people, like the radio station, like this radio station. I get on different Christian radio stations and I do interviews with them because we're doing this across the country. My goal is to have a forever friend in every state this year. That's what I want to do, and I think right now I'm in 10 to 15 states. I don't have it in front of me right now, and it's going very well. And just no one knows about it. So that's the whole thing. I want to try to get on as many interviews as I can. I'd love to do a nationwide one also, just so people know, because everyone I talk to, I've never heard of this. It's such a beautiful thing, and it's so needed, but I've never heard of this.
We are visiting with Angel Ed, talking about turnafrownaround.org. And in addition to visiting homes and helping put churches together with nursing homes and Forever Friends, what things besides those do you do for Turn a Frown Around?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What things do I do what?
Besides the visiting and setting up churches to have nursing home visitation, what other things do you do personally for Turn a Frown Around? With
the Turn a Frown Around, yes, sir. Like I said, I do a lot of radio interviews on Christian radio stations. I've done a lot of TV interviews also. We just did one in Connecticut at a Christian TV station, and it went so well. It's going to be aired next week, actually, on Sunday. And that went beautifully. The father who did it, he was in tears, and they also have a radio station there. He's going to put it on the radio there, too, and he's going to have me come back in 2 months and do a live radio telecast and take question and answers, which will be so great, just to get it out there. And at the one nursing home, it's called residential health care. They don't have any activities there. It's totally different than a regular nursing home. The rules are totally different also. And there was no activities there. So what I did, and I've been doing it for over a year now, every Friday I ask them what movie they want. I go out and get the movie, if I don't already have it, and I get popcorn and pudding, and I bring it down there every Friday. And there's 24 people at this facility, and there's very, very few people that was visiting them. But now I have a forever friend for everyone down there, which is great also. That place went from doom and gloom to just joy and happiness. It's amazing just what one visit a week for 20 minutes will do for someone. It's just amazing. And I got a bingo started down there. What I'm going to do in nursing homes also, I'm going to start doing hopefully next week or the week after. I'm getting 10 sets of dumbbells, 1 and 2 pound dumbbells, and because so many people don't get any exercise in nursing homes. So I'm going to get everybody sit on a chair, and we'll just do little workouts with the little dumbbells, do leg lifts from the chair, stuff like that, just to get their blood pumping. I just want to end all the badness that is with a nursing home. Not that the nursing homes are bad in any way. I don't mean that by any means, but it's just very sad for the people in there that don't have anybody. Especially, it's this. I can't imagine waking up every day knowing I'm never going to see anyone or talk to anyone. I can't imagine that. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
Well, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Angel Ed, the Lord has delivered you from different things, and He's taken the things you've been delivered from, and He's really allowed you to get past those struggles and work for the Lord and be a part of this organization. But talk to us about some of your personal struggles that you've overcame with drugs and alcohol. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. When I was 11 years old, I started drinking. It was either 10 or 11. I don't remember exactly. It was either 10 or 11 years old. I started drinking. It had a lot to do, I think, with the MS. I never knew I had MS back then because there wasn't a test for it, but I had the gait and the walk, the clumsiness, stuff like that. And kids can be very mean, and I know they would pick on me and stuff like that. I started drinking at 10 or 11, doing drugs at 11 or 12. I started the drugs a year after the drinking. And, I went through a lot with that. I went through a whole lot with that. And, I have a grandson that's 11 now, and I just looked at him the other day, and I'm looking, going, I started smoking marijuana and doing drugs at your age. I can't even imagine that. Just looking at him and still the innocence there. I just can't imagine anyone doing it, but especially myself. So many wasted years. And I was a drug dealer too when I turned 17. Not when I turned 17, but when I was 17 years old, I started selling drugs also. And it was a terrible thing. I went through at the end of my addiction. We were smoking about an ounce of crack a night. Me and one other person. It was insane. As soon as I started smoking crack, is when everything just went straight down. I was just a downhill very quickly. Within three to 6 months, it was done. I hit rock bottom. I tried to commit suicide 3 times. It was very bad. The last suicide attempt I remember, it was like every 6 months I would do this. And at the hospital, they pumped my stomach, and then they put me in a supply closet. I don't know if there wasn't any bed. I don't know why. And they might have been getting tired of me doing it. I'm not sure. But I just remember being in there on a stretcher and fading in and out of consciousness. And I just remember looking up and telling God, I don't fit in here. I get very emotional about this. I said, I just don't fit in, Lord. I'm doing nothing but bad, and it was nothing but bad. I didn't care who I hurt. I didn't care about anything or anyone, not even myself. And I say, please take me, man. I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. I'm tired of doing what I do. And then I was so tired of it. My life was so wrong. I couldn't even tell my dreams from reality at the end. That's how bad I was on the drugs and the alcohol. And we'd be up 3, 4, 5 days in a row with no sleep, no food, just drugs and alcohol. And I just begged him to take me. And I could never imagine. I could not understand why he didn't. And now I understand why he didn't. He saved me so many times. I could have been killed or really badly hurt, and I wasn't during this whole addiction. And because this is the way I look at it anyway. I really started looking at things differently. And he kept me around for what I'm doing right now. This is my purpose, man. This is why I'm here. If you'd have told me 9 years ago that I'd be going to nursing homes and doing what I'm doing, I would have said you were crazy. And I'd never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd ever be doing anything like this. This is what he had me for. This is why I'm here. This is why he brought me here. It took me a long time to understand it. It took me a long time to do it. But now I'm finally doing what I'm supposed to do. I know my purpose. So many people in life, they never know what their purpose is. And I know what my purpose is. I'm very blessed for that. I don't understand why he picked me, but I'm very blessed for that. And I thank him every day for picking me for this. And I told him, you don't have to heal me of my MS. If I have my MS to help others to end loneliness in nursing homes, I'll keep my MS forever. And that's fine with me. I use a walker to get around and stuff like that. And if that's why I have MS, then that's fine. Then that's a good thing. I'm not even, I went to be healed of my MS when it was all about me, and now I don't care if I have it or not. Just as long as I can help others and end loneliness, that's what my life is about, and that's why I'm here. And it took a while, but God is so good. I just want to say one quick thing. The one nursing home that I was at, the residential health care, when I went there the very first day, I almost started crying when I walked in the building. I think I might have even cried. I don't remember. And it was just so sad there. There was no one there, no smiles, no anything. And I told God that day when we went in there, I said, I'm going to change this place myself. And I would go down there 3-4 days a week. It's only like 10 minutes from my house, 10-15 minutes from my house. I would go down there 3-4 days a week and just spend time with everybody because there was nobody down there. I'd spend time with everyone. I spoke to a few churches in that area to try to get people down there, and nothing really happened. And I came home the one day after months of doing this. I was just so exhausted. My MS was just getting so bad. I came home and I just sat on my bed and I prayed, and I was bawling. I mean, I was crying so hard. And I was like, God, I can't do this by myself. Man, I can't do this one by myself anymore. I need your help with this. And it was, God is so amazing in the power of prayer. The very next day, I got phone call after phone call after phone call for people wanting to be a forever friend just in that facility. No other facilities. All the churches that I spoke to in that area, a lot of church people were coming in. People on my Facebook were coming in just for that place. And it's such a blessing down there now. It went from doom and gloom to joy and happiness. I mean, there's nothing but laughter, and it's just a beautiful thing down there.
Obviously, the Lord has done many things for you, Angel Ed, and has opened up many opportunities, turned the frown around, and forever friends. One of the things that I know you wanted to share with us was about your first Christmas at a nursing home. Talk to us about that.
Yes, that was at the one where my friend Donna was. She passed away, and then in the Christmas of that year, 2005, I was married at the time also, and I went out and I got 55 Christmas bags because there's 55 people up there on the floor with the Alzheimer's, and I got all kinds of socks and everything they wanted: lotions, powders, slippers, lap blankets. I got them for everyone. And 2 weeks before Christmas, my wife left me. And I was devastated. I was very devastated. It was very hard to even imagine that. And so I never got the bags together. I have all the stuff, but I never put them together. And this is on the 10th. I think it was the 10th of December. And I was like, I can't. There's no way I can do this. My MS is getting so much worse with stress. MS is very bad if you're all stressed out. Just so many bad things were happening right then. And 3 days before Christmas, I was like, I got to do this, man. I have to do this. So I went there with my stepson. He stayed with me. My ex-wife's son, he stayed with me. And my sister, we went up and we put all the bags together. And then on Christmas Eve, myself, my stepson, and my father, we brought all the bags up to the nursing home and put them in the one closet there. So on Christmas Day, I wouldn't have to do all that. And then on Christmas Day, which is I just love Christmas. I have for so long. I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and wake the kids up. I love Christmas Day. And this Christmas Day, it was bad. It was the first time without the family. I was so depressed. And we went up to the nursing home, and I'm in the elevator. We're going. This is not a sad day. I'm here to spread joy with these people. They have no one, man. And without me, they would have nothing. And I just prayed. I said, please, just please take this depression away from me. And as soon as the door opened on the elevator and I stepped out onto the floor, I just had this chill go through my body. And that chill to me, because I get this chill quite often, I look at it as the Holy Spirit going through me. And it went through me, and I mean, my depression, it was gone instantly. I was so happy. It was such a joyous occasion. It was the best Christmas I've ever had. I'm handing out these gift bags, and everyone's like, oh, is all this for me? Oh, my God. They were so, it was just a beautiful day just to see their faces light up when they got something. Because so many people, they don't see anyone on Christmas Day. They don't get any gifts on Christmas Day. And this was the most beautiful Christmas. It'll be 9 years this Christmas that I did that. It was my first one, and I go every Christmas and hand out gifts. I've been doing it. It'll be 9 years, and every holiday we go out and hand out gifts. I bring my grandchildren with me also, and just a very joyous day that day. And every time that we go, there's something beautiful happens every time.
Now, Angel Ed, if someone would like to get involved in the organization and perhaps they would like to, be a forever friend. Maybe they like to bring their children, pets. First of all, do you allow that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. I love when people bring their children and their pets. And if you bring a pet, you have to have the rabies vaccination with you and the distemper shot to make sure they were vaccinated, and that's really about all you have to do with that. But no, we definitely love that. They love the animals. Some people don't. You just have to find out which ones do and which ones don't. But I have a lady that goes through the whole nursing home with her dog, and they just love that. And children too. When I go there, and somebody has a dog or a child, I'm not even there. They don't even see me that day. They see the children. They just absolutely adore children and animals so much. And I love people to bring their pets and their children with them. Absolutely.
If someone would like to get involved, be a forever friend, perhaps get involved with the donation, which I believe is tax deductible. Tell us how that can happen.
Yes, donations are tax deductible. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. You'll get most of your money back in taxes. With this nonprofit, you get the most money back. And you can go to our website. You can make a donation there. Also, the address is there if you want to send a check. You can call me. I can give you the address also. You can go about that in any way you'd like, because we are a nonprofit, and that is how we keep going with donations and also grants that we get.
And what is a phone number or website that one could
Oh,
visit
yes,
to do
sir.
that?
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yeah, our website is www.turnafrownaround.org. That's turnafrownaround.org, O-R-G. Or my number is 908-454-8818. That's 908-454-8818.
And finally, and certainly very, very important, obviously all these wonderful things that have happened and your involvement with Turn Frown Around all began the day you made the decision to ask Jesus Christ to be Lord of your life, correct?
Absolutely. That's when my whole life changed. When I brought Jesus into my life, I was going to church before that, and it just wasn't there. If you know what I mean, it's just my heart was in it, but it wasn't in it the way it is now. I'm 100% with the Lord. As I went to Lourdes, I cried every day I was there. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful place. Spiritual, it just amazed me. And I gave my life to Him, and my life has been so good after that. It hasn't been perfect by any means. I go through a lot of struggles every day, and I just think that Satan throws a lot of roadblocks out there to try to get me to lose my faith, and that will never happen, never. I just love Jesus Christ with all my heart. I tell Him every day, please just give me the strength to do your work. That's all I ask. I don't ask you to get rid of my MS. Just give me the strength with my MS to do what I need to do for you, and He does every day.
Angelette, if someone is listening to this program and would like to make that decision to have Jesus be Lord of their life, would you be willing to lead those listeners in the sinner's prayer right now?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to.
Please feel free.
Lord, please look out for everyone that's out there. Help them look into their hearts, Lord, not into their minds. Our minds are so stressed out. We have so many things going on in our lives. This question is all about in our heart. You put the answer in our heart about helping others, Lord. And I know you do, because that's where I found it in myself. If you could just help everyone, just find that answer to help other people. We need so many people out there to go out and visit in nursing homes. The demand, the loneliness is just so bad, and you know that, Lord, and that's why you brought me into this, to do your work and to also get other people, to get other beautiful people to help with your work. It's all about Jesus Christ. That's what all this is about. The ending loneliness is Him. That is Him coming out of us. When He was here, that's what He wanted to do, end loneliness. He was there for the people that needed Him. And for you to pick me, Lord, it's just, I am so blessed and so honored. I could not believe that you picked me, and thank you so much for that. But I know the people out there, they're listening to this, and they're seeing in their heart right now the need that they need to be there for the lonely also, Lord. And just one person's all we need to change another person's life. Just 20 minutes a week, Lord, and I appreciate you giving me that knowledge also. Just 28 minutes a week, or 20 minutes a week, will change someone's life forever. If they go from doom and gloom to joy and happiness because of you, God. And if everyone can just look into their hearts, and that's what it's all about, is to look into your hearts and just ask Jesus for the answer. That's what I did, and that's what so many other people are doing also. And He will lead you. He will always lead us to where we need to be. In your name, Lord. I'll do everything in your name, and you know that. Amen.
Our guest on Second Chances has been Angelette. And Angelette, one more time, the information about Turn or Frown Around, Forever Friends, and
Yes.
how to get churches involved or make a donation?
Absolutely. What you do, you go to our website, which is www.turnafrownaround.org. That's www.turnafrownaround.org. And you can also give me a call. My number is 908-454-8818. That number again is 908-454-8818. And if you don't have a church family and you still want to be a forever friend, that's great also. I have a lot of people that do that. Just give me a call. We'll get a nursing home that's very close to your house, because we like to make it convenient for everybody. And then we'll get them hooked up with us, and you can start visiting right away.
All right, well, we'd like to thank you. Our guest has been Angelette. Tune in next week for more Second Chances right here from Advantage Radio Ministries on Lift FM.